Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. Hope you guys are doing well today. Before we begin the video, I wanted to quickly apologize to you guys for not publishing more content. In the last few weeks, I've been super busy with a project that I plan to launch within the next month. Once I become more confident that I can bring it to market, I'll definitely update you guys and keep you guys filled in. Also, lately I've been publishing more NFT related content, but for those of you guys that are strictly interested in DeFi protocols and generating yield on your assets, don't worry, every Saturday I still publish updates on some of the latest DeFi protocols that I'm personally using myself to extract massive yield. And I also have DeFi related videos in the pipeline that I'm going to be publishing in the next few weeks. Now, with that being said, in this video, I'm going to be introducing you guys to a few NFT projects that I'm personally very bullish on. In fact, I've organized an AMA on Twitter Spaces. All of the projects that I'm going to be mentioning today are going to be present at that AMA. This video is likely to be published after we complete that AMA, but don't worry, I'll make sure to record it and post it on my YouTube channel. By watching this video in its entirety, you'll get a brief introduction to a handful of quality NFT projects. You'll learn more about the framework I apply when I'm researching for my next investment. And lastly, I'll show you guys where you can buy these NFTs. With the intro out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into this video. Alright, to get things kick-started, the first project that I'm going to be covering is Soliens. So basically, what they're going to do with the funds that they raised is create a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization centered around pursuing investment opportunities within the Web 3.0 ecosystem. So initially, they're going to focus on Star Atlas by buying up in-game items. And by the way, I wanted to point out that they're in very close talks to the founders of the Star Atlas team. So you could argue that buying a Soliens is a proxy investment into the Star Atlas ecosystem. So that kind of initially drew me into Soliens, and I also like the fact that the team put a lot of thought into their DAO. I mean, all of this is a work in progress. In fact, it's just a grand experiment, and it's likely to be iterated on infinitely. And in my opinion, even in the context of DeFi, I think these decentralized autonomous organizations are going to play a huge role. I think that to have a truly decentralized autonomous protocol, you need a means to come to consensus about changes that are being made without having the need to rely on a centralized party. And that had a lot to do with me getting into these NFTs, because I have this working theory that NFTs are going to play a very important role, not only in the formation of communities, but also the maintenance of DAOs. I'm not going to dive too deep into that. You can watch the AMA, maybe I'll talk about it there, and I'll definitely be talking more about that as I carve out more details in future videos. Now, in addition to the NFTs that they also have something called Stardust. And for now, the Stardust basically acts as a claim on the treasury. In fact, it's backed by the treasury. So as the treasury grows, in theory, so should the value of the Stardust. But like I said earlier, a lot of this stuff is fluid, especially in the early stages. So what I would do is I would head over to their Discord and just read through everything that they announce here. Not only to stay up to date with everything, but also get a sense of their trajectory, where they're headed. And out of all the Discord that I'm a part of, all the communities that I'm a part of, I have to say, this is one of the most active Discord and communities out there. And if you're interested in buying the NFT, you can find it here on Magic Eden. Currently the floor is approximately a 1 SOL. These things minted at 3 SOL, and I think the reason that people are dumping them is because they were trying to get as much Stardust as they could. By minting more Soliens, they increased their odds of getting a Solien that came with Stardust. But my thought is that inevitably they're going to have to find a way to bring value to people that are holding these NFTs, otherwise nobody's going to buy them. And also, without disclosing too much information, all I can tell you is the co-founder Sal is a phenomenal speaker. He has some really good ideas, and the guy has incredible work ethic. Personally, I could care less about what the picture looks like. I care more about the team and what they're doing, what their vision is, what their long-term goals are. And Sal, he's super active. He's always on Twitter Spaces. He's engaging with the community. He's very open and receptive to getting feedback from other people. All around, a very cool guy. And I'm pretty sure he's a rising star in the industry. It's just a matter of time before important and high net worth individuals in the industry recognize him and help him elevate this project to the next level. Next up, we're going to talk about United Aliens. I learned about this project after the founder reached out to me to help him with marketing. And I'll be honest, even though I think the quality of the website, the NFTs is top notch, the aliens themselves don't have a strong appeal to me. But after getting to know the founder and seeing how much work he's put into it and how he's persevered despite all the obstacles he's come across, I don't think the dude sleeps. Anytime I message him throughout the day, he lives halfway across the globe for me. Regardless of the time I message him, I'll get a message back in like 5 minutes. If I had to guess, the guy probably only gets 3 to 4 hours of sleep a day. And on top of all of that, me and him are talking about how he can improve the project. He's super open to receiving feedback. And when it comes to DAOs and providing value to the community, our thoughts and opinions tend to align. And I have to say, the more I get to know him, the more bullish I get on this project. Aside from all of the other benefits that are outlined here on his website, which I encourage you guys to look at yourselves, me and him were discussing ways to provide value to people that are holding tokens. So one thing he's going to do is introduce staking, which makes you eligible for airdrops, and they're also going to introduce this burning mechanism here. And like I said, he's super open to receiving inputs from other people. So who knows, we may even see a collaborations, for example, with Soliens. And if they get consensus with the community, we might even see them invest in, let's say, Star Atlas and share the profits with the community. And also Thomas has doxed himself, so he's not like the other projects where everybody's an anon. In fact, here's Thomas talking about the AMM he's about to participate in.
What's up? For those people who don't know me, I'm Thomas. I'm one of the founders of the United Aliens NFTs. And I just want to make sure that you guys actually do not tonight, because tonight is the night we're holding an AMA, which is so amazing people from the NFT space. The topic will be NFTs in general, NFTs combined with DAOs, and it would be great if you all guys come, because that would be actually an amazing opportunity for you guys to learn more about our project, learn more about the other projects actually, and just come together as a community. And so yes, I would love to have you there, actually be there. You will have all the information down underneath these.
So unlike Soliens, they're not on the secondary marketplace yet because their mint hasn't started. So if you're interested, it starts in 23 days. It's gonna be 3 Sol apiece, and that's subject to change depending on the input and the feedback he gets from the community. Next up, we have Shroomz. I'm a big fan of Shroomz in general, but I also like the fact that they were focusing on building a DAO. Unlike Soliens, they don't offer much details in terms of the DAO and the DAO structure, but that could potentially be a net positive because it allows for more flexibility. And they've already gone ahead and started to be productive with the funds that they've raised. Recently, they purchased a Thug Birds. Since then, the bird has almost doubled in price. And I'm not entirely sure what their future plans is with the bird, but they are talking about taking profits on their investments and sharing those profits with the Shroomz community. And they're super active in collaborating and forming partnerships with other communities. For example, they airdropped this banana mushroom to all Exiled Apes. Another thing that drew me to the project was the fact that they capped the mint at 2420. The reason they did this was because the market conditions changed and they noticed that the demand dropped like a rock across the market. And instead of moving in the direction of the projects who will decrease the cost of the mint or extend the sale indefinitely, they capped it at 2420 and burnt the rest. And they did this because they wanted to reward and prioritize early investors in the Shroomz community. Personally, I thought that was one of the chattest moves out there. So not only did I buy a bunch of Shroomz, but it also prompted me to listen to their Twitter Spaces chats. And one of their founders, Charlie, is super active on those chats. The dude seems like he's super smart and a lot of his views align with my own. And so maybe it's confirmation bias, but that made me even more bullish on the project. And if you're bullish on them like I am and you guys want to get exposure, you guys can come over here to Digital Eyes. And by the way, I'll include all the links in the description below. This way you can find their website, the Twitter profile, and the marketplace all in one spot. Currently the floor is 1.75, but I promise you that's not gonna last long. I mean, just look at the total supply here on the secondary marketplace. I remember seeing this roughly at 400. Now it's at 251. In my opinion, it's just a matter of time before these start to gigamoon. Next up, we have Exiled Apes. I actually managed to get one of these when I was minting this for the fund that I co-manage. What happened was the demand for degen apes was so strong, the traffic was so high, that many of the mints ended up failing, and as a result, it left many NFTs flawed. The images and metadata were missing. So the mint was abruptly stopped, and they really didn't know what to do with the degen apes. So the project offered everybody that was holding these Exiled Apes a refund. But I speculated that some interesting things could happen out of Exiled Apes, and 6 SOL at the time was approximately like $250, $300. So I thought the risk reward was pretty damn good. In fact, in the fund that I run, all the people that were involved ended up minting a bunch of apes for themselves. So as a total, we're sitting on a very large amount of degen apes. And if you look at the floor price now, it's up multiples from the mint price. So right now we're so deep in the green, it doesn't make any sense to sell the Exiled Ape. So we're probably going to end up just holding on to it indefinitely. Now I've looked at the Discord and I looked at the website, and there's no really clear vision on what's happening and what's going to happen in the future. But now the original project that hosted the mint is creating a student council that will ultimately decide the fate of Exiled Apes. After looking through the Discord chat log in Degenerate Ape Academy, I can see that they're in the process of creating a DAO. In fact, I even read about them creating a governance token that's going to be airdropped to Degenerate Ape holders. So once they form that DAO and they start making decisions, there is a possibility that these Exiled Apes will have a role within that DAO. But if you're going to end up buying the Exiled Ape off the secondary market, just know that you're basically betting that all the Exiled Apes are going to come together, form a vision, and take action to make sure that that vision gets realized. But what makes me very optimistic about the project is that they have people participating in Twitter chats. In fact, one of their guys that's actively in most of the Twitter space chats out there seems like a super chill guy and provides very insightful commentary. And on top of all of that, some of my most favorite projects are collaborating with them. So I have zero plans to sell my Exiled Ape anytime soon. And if you guys are bullish on Exiled Apes and you guys want to get some exposure, you guys can come over here to Digital Eyes and buy them here. Last but not least, we have Galactic Punks. This is the only project not building within the Solana ecosystem. They're actually building on Terra. And to my knowledge, they're one of the first NFT projects to launch on the Terra Network. I'm not sure if you can count this as official endorsement, but the founder of the Terra Network, Do Kwon, actually made Galactic Punks his PFP. One thing that really impressed me about the project was the fact that they were able to build a very large and active community in a very short period of time. But to be fair, we really don't have a lot of NFT activity on the Terra Network. So there's definitely this pent-up demand. There's many people that have made tremendous profits off of buying Luna super early, and they're super eager to invest in quality NFT projects on the Terra Network. And I've actually spoken to one of the founders, and they have a lot of interesting ideas that are super intriguing that I'm personally very excited about. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to whitelist because they ended up changing the dates, and I was so busy with everything else that I overlooked it. But when it ends up on the secondary marketplace here on Random Earth, I definitely plan to get some exposure. By the way, even if you don't end up getting whitelist, they're having a public mint, but I have a feeling that by the time that it gets to the public mint, most of it's going to be sold out. So there's a high probability that most people will end up buying on the secondary marketplace. And it's another one of those NFT projects that's going to end up building a DAO. And with their DAO, there's going to be a set voting procedure for holders to participate and determine the future direction, partnership, and projects. Additionally, since they're going to be hosting these hackathons and funding these hackathons, we could see a lot of synergy from the new projects created out of this hackathon. And when it comes to Galactic Punks, I'll just end with this. A lot of the early adopters of the Terra Network were attracted to the Terra Network because of all the DeFi protocols and the ability to generate respectable yields. So in my opinion, this is purely speculative, but I have a feeling that a lot of the NFT projects, for them to be successful long-term, they're going to have to figure out ways to add more utility to these NFTs. So in other words, a way for holders to get involved and also to generate passive income. And even if they don't have this vision outlined in their white papers or light papers, I have a feeling because of market forces, they're going to be forced to pivot in that direction sometime in the future. Now, that pretty much completes the video, but for those of you guys who have stayed until the very end, I want to give you guys a quick bonus. In my opinion, at the moment, the best risk reward is with Solana NFTs. I'm not suggesting any of the projects that I'm about to introduce to you have long-term potential, but they're doing interesting things. They have a relatively low supply, and the cost to buy these on the secondary markets is super low. So personally, I've gotten exposure to Slow Patrol by minting a few of these. I also have exposure to Soul Bunnies by minting these. And by the way, both projects at the moment on the secondary market are selling pretty close to the minting cost. And if you want to get exposure to them, both of them are available on Digital Eyes. And lastly, we have Something Fishy. Originally, I wasn't very optimistic about the prospects of this project. However, what changed my mind was the fact that they're giving 10% of royalties forever to people who mint the token and 40% royalties to holders of the NFT. So if you end up holding the NFT, you will get 50% of royalties from all future trade from all of their NFTs. Originally, when one of the co-founders reached out to me, I was just going to go ahead and give all of the NFTs away because I wasn't particularly bullish on the project, but I wanted to give the guy a chance. And I also wanted to reward my community for being loyal followers. But after reading this new announcement, I think I'm going to end up keeping 1 or 2 of the NFTs that he's giving me for free. And for the rest, I'm going to give away to my community in a giveaway. And before I conclude this video, I just wanted to throw out that I do offer additional services through my Patreon. Because I publish all these videos, I work with a lot of co-founders, I'm an advisor for a few NFT projects. I've been able to build a very robust network, and I've gained a lot of knowledge throughout the process. So whether you're into DeFi or NFTs and you're interested in my insights, even if you join the lowest tier I have for $20 a month, you'll get access to all my private Discord channels. You'll get a free subscription to my paid newsletter, in addition to all the other benefits that I offer for this Patreon package. And if you guys end up signing up for one of the higher tiers, you can even have one-on-one dialogue with me. And there's a lot of benefits to this. For example, you'll get insights to what's happening behind the scenes in the industry. Plus, I'll share the protocols that I'm personally farming on. Plus, I can expedite your learning of everything DeFi, NFT, and crypto related. If you think a service like this would benefit you in any way, make sure you guys go ahead and click the Patreon link in the description below. With that, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. This is CryptoOneStop signing out. I'll talk to you folks next time. Bye.